What's up, YouTube? I apologize for this late video. I had just a busy couple days, and I was out of town. But you know why we're all here, and I'm gonna say I didn't look impressed. You know, the only person I can say that really impressed me was Matt Ryan. And this just goes to show you that it's got to be something that's with this play calling. I don't get how we can score, 27 points, 24 points in one half. We scored 24 points in one half without Julio, without Roddy. Harry Douglas had a fire day. Matt Ryan was throwing the ball all over the place to Jacquizz Rodgers. And I don't get why he's not implemented into the passing game a lot more, because the screenplays were working beautifully. And if you actually had wide receivers that could block, aka Julio and Roddy, he would have gone for a lot further. But I mean, you got people like Drew Davis, Harry Douglas, who's okay, and I mean, to be quite honest, I can't name any other wide receivers because those were like, it's as if we kind of mutated into the Patriots, where we kind of just have some scrubs and a playmaker here and there. But this defense, I swear, is just it's awful. And Mike Smith says, "Oh well, we won because Mike Nolan was on the field," and the first quarter, of course, the team starts out hot. They blitzed. The mirror of Matt Ryan, Mike Glennon, and he causes a fumble, and Moore picks it up, or Deku picks it up for the touchdown. But other than that, this defense was looking terrible. Asante Samuel was getting beat to the bone by Vincent Jackson. All they had to do was just throw the deep ball, and Vincent Jackson would get it. And to be frank, they could have won. They seriously could have won. They held the ball the whole third quarter. The defense couldn't do anything to stop them. The only reason why Tampa Bay didn't win is because they shot themselves in the foot. They had 4 penalties in the fourth quarter when they were in the red zone. Holding, false start, just kept shooting themselves. It felt like every other play that was ran in that game was either a penalty was a penalty. Offensive holding, defensive holding, anything that could just purely wipe out any momentum that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had, it was happening. But they still ended up putting up 24 points. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get or 23 points, sorry. I don't get what this team is doing. What is this defense doing? It's crazy. And the offense, looked somewhat okay. I mean, I can't really say much from this game. It's not like they didn't play anybody good, so you can't really say that they that they had any improvements, because what is it gonna shine on when you play a team who's 0-6? I don't see anything positive out of it, really. They got a W, good for them. They're still under 500, but what does that really say about this team? What I think it says about this team is that this play calling is god awful. Because how in the world can this team score 24 points in one half with no-name players? So, okay, I don't mean to offend Harry Douglas, and Tony had a somewhat decent day too. But when you compare Harry to Julio, it's obvious, or Roddy, it's obvious he's not a number one. But how is it that you can score 17 points? Because the first touchdown was attributed by the defense. The whole second quarter was all offensive. How is it that you can score 17 points against a team like that? Against a team like that. And when you play someone like the Dolphins, or even the Jets, or hell, even the Patriots, and you have your playmakers, you can barely even score 20. You need a fourth quarter miracle to try to come back and win. And here we go again. We still have yet to score 30 points. This is ridiculous, man. It's honestly ridiculous. The play calling obviously is a huge factor. I don't know what Dirk Cutter's doing. There was a little bit of more no huddle in this game, which was somewhat surprising. They ended up doing a lot more screen plays. Jacquizz Rodgers had obviously he had 2 touchdowns. But he was, the Saints have this kind of player, and his name is Darren Sproles. We have one similar, and I don't see why we're not utilizing him more in a passing game. He's not a runner. He's not a power back, and they still tried to use him as a power back. They still tried running up the middle, and he got a couple yards, but then again, that was against a shaky defense. When they try to do that shit against the Jets or the Patriots, nothing, because he's not that kind of back. Jason Stelling is that kind of back, but not Jacquizz Rodgers. But he was shaking and baking and jizzing all over the field, especially in that in the second quarter when Matt Ryan threw that little, in the fourth quarter when Matt Ryan threw that little skinny ball that somehow made it to Jacquizz Rodgers, and he was dancing and jizzing and all this other shit. Like, it was phenomenal what this guy can do in the open field when you throw him a screen ball. And he proved it again even in the second quarter. That's what I meant. Even in the second quarter. He just plows through people. So you got to utilize him more. You got to have more screen games. We really, really have to delve away from the running game as long as Steven Jackson is not on the field. Okay? We've got to be more. We've got to attribute to our successes, which is in the air. And Matt Ryan, he looked really good. He was 20 for 26 for 3 touchdowns. Harry Douglas had 140 in the first half. So this team can play well. They've got good players. It's the play calling that's what drives this team crazy. Some just dumb decisions have cost this team 2 wins. And, maybe Mike Smith then went into this bye week and said, you know what? I've got to stop going for it on 4th down. I've got to take the points when I need to. I've got to look at the situation better and say, okay, it's 3rd and 3. I'm not going to run Jacquizz Rodgers. I'm going to put everyone out and do like what all the other teams do. Shit. Dump it off, do a screenplay, or even do a draw play. Matt Ryan can run. He's not a premier runner, but if you want to do a draw play, he can gain 2 yards, I feel like. But again, there's not really much you can take away from this game. They look great, but when you play against a team that has a 1, I don't know. The positive is that they won. The negative is that this defense still looked bad. We still cannot blow out a team. We still have yet to blow out a team. But that, again, requires a complete team effort. And while the Falcons' offense put up, 24 points in the third quarter. In the second quarter. Sorry, we scored 30. We scored over. I keep forgetting we had 31. That's my fault. We did score over 30 points a game. But, when you lead 24-7 at halftime, you think, wow, okay, shoot, this is going to be a blowout. And the defense can't do anything to stop them. It's weird. But Samuel looked bad. Robert Alford and Desmond Trufant, they looked okay. But again, like I said, there's not really much you can take away from this game. Who we play next, though, might be a little bit more of a test, because we do play Cardinals, and they're mediocre. They're 3-3. They have they're a pass-happy team. Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald, all they do is just throw the ball. But the defense should shine. God, I hope they shine, because Carson Palmer throws interceptions all the time. So we're hoping next week we need to blow out a team. We have got to blow out a team. We can't keep playing this back and forth shenanigans. Be up by 17 and then don't do anything in the fourth quarter or in the second half. So I don't know. The Falcons, good for you. You won. You're 2-4. It's not going to get any easier. I can tell you that right now. We're going to hit. If we thought the first half of our schedule before the bye week was tough, because we still got to play at Carolina, and we never win at Carolina. We can't beat Cam Newton. Cam Newton is a tough opponent, and they're picking up pretty good steam. They've been blowing out teams. They've actually been blowing out teams. 38 something, 38 this. They've actually scored over 38 points. And then we face Seattle, which is definitely going to be a loss. That's going to be a freaking... God, I don't even know what that's going to be like. That's just going to be awful. So these next couple of games are really going to be determining if this team can actually get on a winning streak, get over 500. Hopefully when we play against New Orleans, if we can be over 500, that'd be great. But I don't know, the way it's looking, I don't think so. Oh well. But again, I apologize if there's not much to really criticize because, again, you're playing against an 0-6 team. The only thing I can criticize is that they should have really blown them out. The defense really should have stepped it up, and of course they didn't. They let a rookie shine, kind of like what they did against New York Jets. Mike Glennon looked like a Matt Ryan in there. You know, he got sacked, he got hit a little bit in the first quarter, but once he finally settled down, he was really, really precise. He was throwing the deep ball well. He looked like he made the defense look like a high school defense, to be quite honest. And you know, this defense, it's going to be the plague. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else this team can do. All they can do is just fire Mike Nolan or something. But that's not going to happen. So anyway, I guess I'll catch you guys next Sunday or Monday.